it's me. Oh wait, we need to go this way. It's me, Shipwreck Mario. Before we head out, what on earth were you just doing there, Yoshi? It looked like you were moon jumping. We need a coconut. This will be relatively vital. Not for us, but it might prevent a little bit of extra back and forth. No, can't reach that from there. Damn. Okay. Man, what kind of moon jumping was Yoshi doing up there? Let's see if I can get him to... Can you do that again? What was he doing? Well, I'm going to stop right now before I die. Yeah, so we're going to need to grab this. Just slip through the bridge, grab the ice power, and... now we are qualified to deal with fire-based enemies. Yoshi, stop fooling around up here. Come on, Yosh. Goofball. I'm not going to hold myself responsible for goading this guy into coming out to the ocean. Man, when Mario wants, Mario gets, you know? So yeah. Now we're a bit stronger. I'm gonna mini egg these guys. Boom. Fortunately, Yoshi does not have much of a choice on who he attacks. Oh, so we can now safely jump on these guys thanks to ice power. No damage because he's small. He's tiny. He's just a little flame. We step on him. Oh, but they... oh, okay, so they could still burn. This guy's going to be able to damage. Not Mario, though, because as long as we guard, we'll be fine. Which means now, Mario's probably the better option to keep out in front. Let's stomp on the little flame. We'll put him out. Put him out real quick. And then we're going to swap out to Koops, because Koops is the only one who can attack these guys normally. No damage. Some damage. Take this guy out. Stomp on that little flame, and then we'll get rid of this guy. Seems like we're going to need that in after all. Bobbery, stop messing around up there. Well, considering you got all the way over here, not bad. My Chuckola Cola. Superstar Saga players will know this one. And it's one of the rare times you ever see something from one specific... well, I don't even know if I want to say that, but it's like, how often do you catch Mario and Luigi references in anything that's not Mario and Luigi? I mean, excluding Smash, obviously, because you catch references to that and everything. But like, man, it's kind of a little disappointing that Nintendo seems to like, when it comes to their Mario franchises especially, they seem to keep them very separated. Like, you don't catch many references to one like Paper Mario references in anything that's not Paper Mario is very, very unlikely. And vice versa. Oh, hey, no. Get out of here. You little shit. Oh, you bitch. Ow. It's a good thing I have life shrooms. Beat it. Alright, I don't really feel like being poisoned, so let's just sweet treat and get rid of it so I can restore some health and not resort to using one of my life shrooms. Ooh, no more of that. That's pretty good. It'll keep us alive. I mean, obviously everything with Sweet Treat is literally just kind of restoring a little bit of HP. Could probably save your ass. And in this case, it definitely got rid of the poison, which is what we really needed. Fuck it. I'll use one of my super shrooms. It's like Vivian will just finish this thing off anyway. Might as well use an item while I'm here. Yeah, that's kind of another thing. If you can just finish off a battle, you don't really need to use your items in battle. Especially against normal enemies. Almost started running out of space. We almost like used up all of our space already. Oh! That piranha plant just took a bite on my ass. This is very dirty of you, sir. Let's head rattle him. And just because I need to get rid of some stuff, let's use this courage shell. Now the piranha plants can't damage me. Like so. How? Well, that can... Okay, so defense, I think it's about time I started talking about how defense works in this game. It only applies to direct attacks, really. So, when a piranha plant spews poisonous breath at you, or I guess in some other cases, some direct attacks, like fuzzies, I believe, pierce defense. But most indirect attacks pierce your defense. Oh my goodness. Confusion is such a unfortunately, well, it doesn't work very often, that's what I'm trying to say. I'll give you one more turn. Turn wasted. So yeah, defense only really applies to direct attacks. So piranha plants bites, Goomba head bonk, shit like that. When your defense is boosted, that is. In any sense. Because obviously when you use like the ice power, that's I guess the ice power isn't exactly a defensive badge, it's a straight up negation. I don't really know if there's much of a difference between just the power pluses or the P up and D downs or like badges like that. Because those badges directly state that it increases the damage Mario deals and receives. Which means you're dealing more damage, but you're taking more damage. You're dealing more, taking more. Same on the other end, where you're dealing less into taking less. I don't know if that's just a straight up damage reduction, and if there's much of a difference between damage reduction versus defense boosting. But case in point, when you use stuff like a defense plus, or a courage shell, or power lift, that defense only applies to enemy attacks that directly attack you. Or I guess more or less like, think more or less like energy-based projectiles like flames or lasers. Stuff like that will pierce your defense. Yeah, we're kind of missing one person. Yes, the Admiral lives, you lunatics. Yeah, let me talk. Yeah, he thinks he's on his deathbed. Well, at least... Okay, so Flavio really is a blowhard, but at least he's not exactly entirely selfish or just downright assholey. Like, he's not an actual jerk. Like, yeah, he's a little hesitant to give over the cola, but he is still willing to. Yeah, this is exactly why you need the coconut. Because he wants something from the island, and the coconut's the only thing you can really do. Yeah, basically, like, Flavio is a massive blowhard, but he's not insensitive. Like, he cares, but more or less on those lines where he'll care about others so long as he's in safety. The moment he's in trouble, well, yeah, he's gonna think of himself first. That's usually how the stereotypic rich douchebag works. But he's not insensitive. That's to say the least. 2 piranha plant, 2 future piranhas. Eat hammer. I'm not gonna goddamn deal with you guys. I'm gonna burn this guy first. I'm gonna take him out with Vivian. Another thing, actually, now that I'm on the top, well, I'm jumping from topic to topic here because I remembered another thing Confusion does in certain cases. If the enemy is left alone, they might just not do anything. That's very prominent in bosses because there are actually quite a few bosses that can still be confused. And usually they don't do anything because 90% of the time when you're fighting up against a boss, they're usually alone. In certain cases, it's not always the case. Like, I'm pretty sure Bowser in his final fight can be confused, but he fights with Cammy, and I don't think he can directly attack her. However, I know you fight the Shadow Sirens once more by the game's end, and I don't know if they attack each other if they get confused. I want to say no, because I think when it comes to bosses that are in groups, I don't think they attack each other. But I can tell you guys for sure that some bosses can be confused and they just sit there and do nothing. But that's because they naturally do not have another teammate with them. Alright. Bobbery, I've come with your drink. A glorious flavor, dear boy. It awakens the mouth. What about the rest of you? I'm not here to wake your mouth up. I'm here to wake you up. So I would like to point out that as far as I'm concerned, dead people are supposed to be stiff, not moving. The dumbass is asleep. I really think Bobbery's just sleeping after all of that. I could just imagine Vivian's got a very quiet voice. She's just like she's that quiet girl in class who just doesn't speak much. No pirates, buddy. Vivian is still one of my favorite partners. Easily, you know what? Easily second. Don't make me repeat who my favorite is. Pretty sure I'm already making that obvious. Well, yeah, so Bobbery goes from, I don't want to go out to sea, to we just made this guy go out to sea, to I got attacked by ghosts and I'm dying, to I'm joining your party now. Yeah. I don't make this shit up. Sometimes I wish I did, though. Bobbery is going to be Bobbery is the offensively dominant partner of our party with Vivian. Obviously, when I say offensively potent, I naturally mean that in the sense of by default. Obviously, when I say like with some buffs, like I already proved, Yoshi can be fucking devastating. But without any sort of offensive boosts, Vivian and Bobbery are easily your best offensive choices. Goombella is... I'm going to see if I can rank the partners. Goombella's a bit of a mix between being offensive and supportive. Because her fourth attack is called Rally Wink, which gives Mario another turn. It basically just trades her turn from another turn for Mario. And obviously Tattle is a good support move for getting all the information you need. And other than that, she just head bonks, which on its own is not bad, but it's more or less just the most standard type of offense you can get. She's literally just a second jump otherwise. Koops is your ground-bound dominator, and I say Koops is your very situational offense, where he's good for attack. He's good early on for attacking everybody at a low FP cost. On top of, oh, hold on, Bobbery's calling out Flavio for what he is. You talk rather too much. Thank you. Yeah, Koops is more or less, again, he's good at attacking everybody on the ground for some decent damage at a low FP cost. On top of that, he denies a lot of hazards. He denies spikes, so he can safely attack pokies. He can safely attack electrified enemies. He can safely attack enemies who are charging other hazardous things and flame enemies. So, in a sense, Koops is a very good partner for dealing with things that Mario himself can't touch. But granted, they have to be on the ground. So, in a sense, again, he is a ground-dominant character whose lack of aerial attack kind of balances out his offense. On top of that, Koops does have a very good support move in the form of Shield Shell, which it's good because it can give you an extra turn or so. It's not exactly I wouldn't say it's the greatest thing because the shell is not as durable as they make it look. And his fourth attack is Piercing Shell, which again, it targets all the ground-bound enemies, but it pierces defense. So Piercing Shell becomes something of a very, very, very great move when you're using it on things like clefts or bristles, or other things with massive defense. Flurry is, I'd say, a more support enemy, or not enemy, partner, because Flurry's moves are geared more towards support. She has her Body Slam, and her Gale Force is good for getting rid of the opposition if you can, because it's effectively a one-shot move. It blows the enemies away. Doesn't work on some enemies, and I'd say that it works better on flying enemies, mainly because obviously you're not rooted to anything, you're just flying in the air, so you try using your wings to keep up with high winds. But her other two attacks are actually not offensive attacks, they're more lip lock. Sorry. I was getting mixed up with another move. Lip lock is basically a flurry attack, or a fuzzy attack for flurry, where she just drains the enemy of HP. And then her last one is, I believe, it's a move that inflicts the dodgy status on Mario, which is a good defensive option. Yoshi, I would call borderline straight offense. All of his moves deal damage. They're all multi-striking, so they require a little bit more. But again, Yoshi, like I mentioned, really does rely on additional buffs to hit that level of offense. Because obviously, like again, Chapter 3 proved, when you buff that kid up, it's crazy. So I would say Yoshi is another straight offense character, but one that requires a little bit more effort to really unlock the potential. We're going to stop here, and I'm going to call it an episode. I will pick up on the rest of the partners in the next episode, because this is a topic I can get behind. So, we will see you guys next time, where we will also be getting into Pirate's Grotto, which is the second half of this chapter. See you then.